Hello and welcome to Forza Motorsport GT3 racing. My name's Ubershark and today we're racing the Mercedes-AMG GT3 at Spa. This is a long race, 12 laps. I opted to do a hard to medium tire strategy. So this should be fun because everyone else did mediums at the start. This is my first video commentating, so it might be a little garbage, but I'll give it my best. Get a pretty good jump off the line, but Spa turn one, you know, it's always a mess. Try to scoop myself out on the outside, but being Forza, it's not possible. Everyone's kind of bumping into each other. Starting to go down Al Rouge too wide, but this Ferrari bails right at the last second, giving me some room, but gets a much better exit than I do and starts to overtake me. The Ferrari in the GT3 class is very, very good on the straights. I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success with it, and at tracks like Le Mans, it's almost stupid to not use it because of how good of a car it is on a straight line. I tried messing with it myself a couple of times, but I couldn't handle it. I tend to do a lot better with the front engine cars, so Aston Martin, the AMG GT, and the GT2 class, I like using the Viper. But I do like to dabble with the other cars. As you can see, selecting the hard tires is already starting to look a little like a mistake, being pretty much outpaced by everyone on the field at the moment, but it's a long race, and I really thought that maybe going a different strategy than everyone else would benefit me. I didn't show it, but before the race, everyone went mediums. I was the only one that went hards. My plan was to try to go hard as long as I can and then swap to either medium or soft, but chances are it would probably be the medium, and in that case, why do medium or medium hard? May as well take the hards while the car is heavy and swap to mediums once you have a little less gas to get a little bit more speed. It's getting a little messy out here, all the penalties going out. Trying to be careful not to get caught into anything, and at this rate I'm a little too far back to really get caught into any of this mess, but it's definitely distracting.
Total time penalty is about a second.
Lovely. Gotta love having a nice penalty on lap 2. Was trying too hard to keep up with the group ahead. They're just all so fast and they're on better tires than I am, and I'm trying too hard to keep up with them, and really that's not my race, but get 2 free overtakes right here. And at this point we're not losing too much time between the cars in front of us. I think we're maybe losing only a second a lap, which is actually really good. On hard tires on a track like Spa, you'd expect to probably lose a little bit more time, but they're up all clumped together, fighting a bit. It's making it a bit easier to keep up with them. There's just no chance of me really doing too much on these tires, but it's a strategy I chose. If you're a fan of these Forza Motorsport videos, please consider liking or subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. I don't have too much uploaded at the moment, but I do so much of this Forza Motorsport that why not record it and upload it? It definitely helps me get better watching it back. Definitely with a fresh mindset as well. After having a rough race, having a couple crashes or two, it can be hard to really learn anything, but rewatching the race, seeing the decisions you make, it can really help you get a lot better. Now looking at the time gap, we're about 2 seconds from fourth, which is not bad. We almost ended lap 2 about 3 seconds behind, so there's definitely enough fighting for me to catch up and try to fight for a podium here. Just gotta keep driving calm and not try to push too hard. A lot of these guys are fighting quite hard on these mediums, so although they will last maybe a lap or two more, they are going to start falling off soon. About to start lap 4, still about 2 seconds off of fourth place. I was trying really hard to keep up with the group up front, but they were all fast and I was starting to overcompensate. Definitely on turn 1, I had a couple accidents where I just wanted it too hard, wanted to catch up to the point that 6th place is now catching up to me. He's also in the Ferrari. I can't remember which one it is, but both of them have really good straight line speed, so it's just really hard to keep him off of you on this long straight here. I mean, you can just see it in the mirror. He was about a second off of me when we started, and here he is looking like he could basically overtake me right here if he wanted to, but he does it real smart, plays patience. Plays patient, that is. Gets a nice easy overtake on me. I didn't fight too much. Again, being on hards, knowing he's on mediums. It's not really worth it to slow myself down trying to stop him. May as well let him pass me, maybe catch up the guys in front and start to slow them down because they're fighting. Now we're on lap 4. The tires are looking pretty good. I was pretty happy at this point. Just kind of in my groove. Happy with the tires, happy with the pace. Now I didn't know what lap people would start to pit on, but I was assuming either between laps 4 and 6, people on the mediums would have to pit. There's just no way they would make those mediums last past probably lap 6. You could probably try it, but I definitely wouldn't. If I was on mediums, I'd probably pit either 4 or 5 and then go hards. Get a couple people pitting right here. I think 2 drivers. The lead car, Clipston, he's actually really fast. We're gonna catch back up to him at some point. Or I shouldn't say catch up, he'll catch up to us. He was blistering fast. Looking at the time gap, the third, 3, almost 4 seconds. Just overtook me on this exact spot the lap before, so quite a fast pace, but at this point we're just hoping that these hards were the smart, I guess the right choice. Got 3 guys in front of me. We know they're on mediums. They're still really fast, but they have to fall off at some point. while we're chasing third, I guess I can talk about some of my equipment that I use. I have a Logitech G29 wheel and pedals hooked up to a little rig. I race on an ultra wide monitor, hence the weird aspect ratio. I'll race with a controller every once in a while, but when I do featured multiplayer races, I only use the wheel. I would only really use the controller if I'm doing the single player stuff, just because I don't know. I feel much better on the wheel. Right here you can see I got excited and immediately take turn one awful. I remember while I was doing that turn, I thought I had downshifted the first gear, but I guess I didn't, and I stayed in second and just took that way too wide. So I want to make a note of this right now, just so we have an idea of how fast Clipston is, the guy in second. We are in the lead. He pit 2 laps prior. I think he pit on lap 4. Everyone else just pit. He is, well, now he's 8.8, but he was about 9.5 seconds when I took the lead, maybe 10. Might be a little wrong on that, but just watch how fast he pulls up on me. Granted, he has open air. There's no one really fighting him. So, I mean, he could just lock in and chase me, but he was fast. Now my goal here was, now it's lap 6, I'm in first, all the mediums have pit. If I pit now, I'm not really gaining too much of an advantage by taking the hards, so my idea here was to either try to get one more lap or wait until Clipston got close to me where I felt like, okay, now I'm losing too much time. Another penalty. It was a little too fast. Went off track. So one thing you can always trust Forza to do is to give you a penalty in spots where you just barely do anything. And then you'll completely cut a corner and it won't give you anything. It's not the best system, but tends to work itself out. It's just always frustrating when you get the big 4-second penalty from a crash that you didn't cause. But when that happens, you just gotta shake it off and keep racing. Dwell on it too much, you're just gonna race even worse and probably crash, get more penalties. And at that point, why race anymore? It's just a game, just having fun. It's not iRacing, it's just Forza Motorsport. Half the people I'm racing are probably 8 years old on an Xbox, so no reason to get too frustrated over this game, but it has slowly become a really fun sim game for me. Even though it's not a true sim, it's still, a game. I've raced lots of, sims. I've done iRacing, I've done a set of Corsa and Competizione. I've done AMS2. I've done a large amount of them, and something about Forza Motorsport just scratches the niche I have. Lets me race the GT3 cars, which I love. I love the GT3s. I love doing ACC because of that, but Forza really just kind of lets you race without feeling too bad if you don't do well. Not saying like I'm crashing the people not caring, but I'm not ultra competitive about it. I'm just having a good time. Now, looking at second place again, 1.6, 1.5. He is catching up like crazy. But if you look at third, third and fourth are fighting at the moment. They've actually lost time to me. So I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm going to pit here. So we'll have lap 8 through 12 to do left. So I'm going to do mediums, like I said. No reason to do softs. They won't last. And as you can see, Clipston is right on my tail. I was actually really scared he was going to try to nosedive me, because I just want to pit. And I tried to do it as smoothly as possible, but I think he was trying to overtake me, so it just kind of got awkward. But is what it is. right, we're leaving the pits now. I wasn't paying attention to who passed me, but I think we're in third, so we're not in a bad spot. It was at this moment where I started looking at the map a bit, and I realized I only noticed a few cars. So I don't know what happened to our 13-party lobby, but looks like a lot of people ended up dropping. Whether it was in the last lap or two, because I saw a lot of people out before this, but they're all gone now. In third, though, after pitting, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the podium here, feeling really good. Looking at fourth place, I got 20 seconds. I knew the guy behind him had a lot of time as well, so I'm feeling real confident. I'm looking at the guys in first and second. They're both in Ferraris, so I know they're probably going to have the pace on me here. I think the Ferrari is the better car at Spa. Almost every time I've raced here, you usually see the Ferraris. I mean, if you can drive the Ferrari well, right? You can't just give it to anybody. It's not like, OP. But if you know how to drive it well, you can really have success with it at Spa. But looking at second, he's 6.5. I remember being a little confident, like, yeah, I think I could make up that time. I think he's on hards, I'm on mediums, I should be able to catch up, but he had the pace on me, so maybe he did double mediums. I don't know. So one thing that kind of wish they would add to the game, I wish you could see the pits everyone else did at the end of the game. Once the race is over, it tells you who got penalties, your fastest lap, and your total lap, or I guess race time, but it'd be really neat to see when people pit, what they pit for. I'd also like to see an average lap pace. Because anyone can get a fastest lap if they want, right? You can just put in softs and say, look how fast my lap is, I'm better than everybody, but that doesn't prove anything. I just like to be able to see a lot more data. So it looks like Clipston did a 2-pit strategy. Probably went medium, soft maybe? But you can see right here, he's 2 seconds ahead, and he's going to start taking away real fast. Or pulling away, that is. Now, just on the straight, we're looking at 1.7, but you're going to see he's going to start pulling away. That car just has insane top speed. And he's driving the hell out of that thing. He is pulling away from me. When it comes to, I guess, matchmaking, I'm not in the highest level of, I guess, I don't remember how Forza calls it. It's safety rating and skill rating. When it came to the skill rating, mine's dropped quite a bit. I used to be around 4,900-ish. But I used to only race the Formula Mazdas. I really love the Formula Mazdas. If those come back, I'll start recording those. But I'm sitting around 4.8 right now. Almost at 4.9. And then my safety rating's been kind of fluctuating. I get to A and S, and then every once in a while I'll just get totally nosedived by some 8-year-old, and it'll drop down to B or something and just ruin my day. But well, it doesn't really ruin my day, but ruins the race. But these lobbies are competitive, but they're not insane. Now, lap 9 out of 12. Feeling real good. And I notice the time gap, we have 4th place as a DNF. And this is when I'm thinking, oh, maybe the other guy is just behind him and just hasn't passed him, but no. At this point, it seemed like everyone had quit or disconnected, so it was just the 3 of us racing left. It's kind of a dull finisher to what was kind of a very interesting and fun race. Spa is always fun. It's one of my favorite tracks, but Yeah, just kind of a bummer. So one thing that actually happens quite a bit in Forza, people tend to just quit these longer races, and you can't really blame them, right? Right now, the GT3 series is a long format. You'll get people that quit just because it's like, well, if I have no chance of even doing well, I'm just going to quit and join the next one. And there's no penalty, and you're right, there shouldn't be a penalty. It's just for fun, but it does make some of the real long races kind of dull. Like if you ever do the endurance races, you'll start a match with 23 people, and by the time you're done, it tends to be 3 or 4, and those 3 or 4 are usually 1, 2, and 3. Right, it's the guys at front. The medium length races, you tend to have a lot more, I guess, retention. People stay. But this is a long format, around 30 minutes. And as you can see, Clipston is basically caught first place. Gonna probably end up fighting a little bit. They both have quite a bit of penalties, so at this point I was a little excited. Like maybe something will happen and I can sneak my way into a second place, even though I'm already pretty content with third. Although it is at this point last place. It is what it is, I guess. But and there's the overtake right there, up in front. Looks like there's not too much. It's close. Just starting lap 12 out of 12. Look at the time gap. No way I'm catching up. It looks like the two of them battled for just a small bit of time, but Clipston passed them pretty quickly and created a pretty reasonable lead. Amazing. Third place. Really had to fight for that one. If you stuck around this long, I want to say thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing if you liked it. I'll try to upload maybe once a week. Trying to commentate these videos. They take a little bit more time, but yeah. Thanks for watching.